Hello again, everybody. It's your old pal, Guardian Enzo, coming to you live on tape from LiA Towers in beautiful uptown Kyoto as we wrap up another year in anime. And whatever your New Year's Eve or New Year's traditions are, whether that be doing a temple or shrine visit, Hatsumode or Joy no Kane, the 108 Temple Bells, or a big party, whatever it is. I hope part of it is checking out the top anime of the year according to me. And last year, if you recall, was a tough choice. It really was. It was a nail biter right down to the end between Vinland Saga 2 and Pluto. And I have to say that this year was a much more clear cut decision. I don't want to say that it was never in doubt because there was one series that came along that made me at least consider another option. But the truth of the matter is, I never expected my number one series of 2024 to be anything but the second season of Boku no Koro no Yabayatsu. The Dangers in My Heart, Bokuyaba, whatever name you slap on it, it's the best rom com around. And I think, judging by where the manga is now, which I think is overwhelmingly likely will eventually be adapted by the anime, but even if it isn't, just in manga terms, I think it has a chance to be the best teenage rom com in manga history. I think that's very much on the table. But we're here to talk about the anime. And then the first season, I think, placed fourth for me in my year-end top 10 in 2023. In a better year, substantially better year than 24, quite frankly. It would have placed higher this year. This year, it's number one. And while there was the second place series is Yatagarasu, as you know by now, if you've been reading the top 10 countdown, Karasu wa Aruji wo Erabanai, which is a great series, which I love. And also, I'm reading a fan translation of the novels, which is also great. And there's a ongoing scanlation of the manga too. So it's interesting to see all those different takes on that series. And that was my clear cut number two. Number one and number two have pretty much been set though since the moment I started watching each of them, and nothing has really come close to upsetting the order either way. Bokuyaba, I've done so much talking about it, writing about it. I don't need to expansively go into it again. You know, I love the series and you know why I love it. But let me reiterate that, in my opinion, it was, in fact, the best anime of 2024. The second season of that anime this year, which was better than the first season, which is one reason why it was number one this year, and better in part because the manga gets better. I mean, the material it covered this year was better than the material covered in the first season. Uh, but above and beyond that, I think just a really good and smart and thoughtful adaptation by Shin-Ei Animation, the same people that did the Karakai Jozu, uh, no, Karakai Jozu, no, I've forgotten her name now. And I'm not even drinking. But it's the same director as well. Same director, Akagi Hiroaki, and Takagi-san, of course. And I think once I saw, in fact, I predicted that Akagi and Shine would be the studio and director that got Bokuyaba even before that was announced. And so when it happened, yes, I was gratified to be right because it's always nice to be right, but also just, because they fit. And even though this anime did not have a huge budget, I think the budget was a little better in the second season than the first, but within the means of that budget, I think it did a really, really phenomenal job of capturing what makes the manga so wonderful. I think the casting was great. Hori Shun as Ichi Kiyotaro, which is a really tough role, especially this season with all the stuff that goes on with him. He was phenomenal. Yomiya Hina, who was cast as Yamada. Um, not a not a lot of big main roles in anime, but she did a great job. And the supporting cast was great too. But just an overall really great adaptation. I can't say better than the manga in the way that, for example, maybe The Elusive Samurai and for sure Dandadan and Heavenly Delusion are, but because the manga is just that incredible. However, it did manage to take a phenomenal manga and make a phenomenal anime out of it. And indeed, I would say Akagi and Shinai did substantially improve the Takagi-san anime over the manga, but they didn't need to do that with Bokuyaba because the source material is just that freaking great. So kudos to them for getting it right. That's really what it comes down to. I just, I think Ichi is the best protagonist in manga in rom-com, possibly the best character in manga and rom-com, and anime rom-com too. Yamada is certainly, in my opinion, the best female lead in rom-com. A tremendous supporting cast, all great, especially One, Kyo's sister is terrific. But the whole sporting cast is great. Norio Sakurai Norio, whose exhibition I saw in Osaka and is currently in Kyoto actually. Um, she's done really fun series before, Ro and Mitsudo Moe, which I really liked, especially Mitsudo Moe. This was a big level up for her. Her sensitivity and her sense of humor and just the way she's unsparing in really comprehensively showing all of the awkwardness and all of the wonder and all of the incredible emotion that goes along with first love and true love. Um, it's she's a phenomenal mangaka. And the work she does with this series, like I say, I think it has a chance to go down as the best manga rom-com ever. And if it does, could certainly then follow that up with being the best anime rom-com. It has a movie coming out in 2025. It's a compilation movie with some new scenes, and I predicted that it would be a good sign if there was a movie or a spin-off manga because something to keep the momentum of the series going uh, until we got a third season, which couldn't realistically come before 2026 at the earliest. So the movie is, that's great. That's terrific because even if there's not a tremendous amount of new material, it's going to perform a very important function in keeping the anime, keeping that momentum that the anime generated going strong as we go into, trying to develop a third season, which I'm pretty sure is going to happen because the manga continues to tick up and up in sales. It's very popular. The second season was uh, hugely well received, deservedly so. And it's my number one anime of 2024. And as great as Yata Garasu is, it's not super close the way 2023 was. This was my clear winner. And if and when we get that third season, whether it be 26 or whenever it is, I think that will have a chance because I can tell you that the source material that it will be covering in that season is as great as the material in the second season. I think it's right on that same level. There's some stuff happening in the manga now that's tremendous. So Bokuyaba, The Dangers in My Heart, Boku no Kokoro no Yabayatsu. I cannot recommend this series highly enough. I've got a dedicated Into Loves manga on it. I've covered it in podcasts. I've written extensively on the website. There's plenty of material telling you why I love this series, but I love this series. I can't recommend it highly enough. You don't have to be a rom-com fan to love this series because it's as much a character study, a coming of age story for Kyotaro as it is a rom-com. It's equally great at both, and both are equally intrinsic to the story. Both the anime and manga are phenomenal. If I, it would be a shame to do one and not the other. But if you're going to choose one, choose one. That's fine. You can't go wrong either way. But by all means, do both. And if you are a manga fan and you haven't watched the anime yet, I think you can safely do so. Akagi and Shine do a great job. So that's my anime of the year 2024. A long time coming. I waited for this adaptation for a long time, and it's nice to have that patience rewarded with something that doesn't disappoint you, that deepens your love of the series, if anything. It's really phenomenal. Bokuyaba, it's great, and deservedly wins Anime of the Year for 2024. And I should have double checked this before I started recording. It may be the first rom com I've ever had that to win that title. If so, that would be entirely fitting. And that's my Anime of the Year. So I want to wish everybody a happy New Year, happy holidays. I hope you had a great Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa season, whatever you celebrated. Looking forward to another big year in 2025 between the website and the YouTube channel, the podcast, all that good stuff. I will be coming back to you looking for financial support again, because as usual, all my costs are going up, hosting and everything else. So I hate to do that to you, but I'll be soliciting for your support in 2025. But everyone who steps up and has already supported the site financially, you have my boundless gratitude. Everyone who reads the website, who checks out the YouTube channels, listens to the podcast, everyone who comments, all of you guys, the LIA family, we've been at this now for something like 14 years, and it's been a great ride, and almost 14. And so I'm really, really grateful to all of you. Thank you very much. Looking forward to next year. And again, Happy New Year, happy holidays. And as ever, you know how I love to close these things out. I'm going to tell you, in this chilly time of year, it nevertheless is important. Please stay frosty.